Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to accomplish your goal. So one of the first tactics you can do is having this can't versus can't yet mentality. So what does that mean? It means that our verbiage that we use for our everyday life on whether I can't do this, I can't do that, really impacts what we do and how we are able to succeed or not succeed. So having the can't versus can't yet mentality is going to allow us to surpass those barriers that we've put on ourselves. A good saying that I hear often is like, if you believe where you are because the world said so, you'll be 100% right. And so when we take control and we're not leaving it up to anyone, we'll be able to end up where we want to end up. And I think that's something really important to adopt in our life, and that's how you'll be able to really take life by the horns and control it and understand where you want to go. This is a quick short one saying you should be an airplane when you're working towards your goal. That 97% of the time an airplane is off course on its way to its destination. So knowing that, we know the plane knows the end goal. It needs to get to point A. And so it will maneuver itself, realign itself, so it's always moving towards its destination. And that's something that you can apply in your life to where you're able to get to the destination that you want to. One of the things I really like to do is set a habit instead of set a goal. And so I think this is going to really help us understand who we are as a person, what we really want to do, and what we want to accomplish. And so a typical goal that you would see at the beginning of the year is I want to learn, or I want to read more. And so I don't think the goal is to read X amount of books, but we want to frame that goal into a habit to where I want to be a reader. And so there's things that you can do and change that verbiage so you're able to accomplish those goals. So running or exercise is like, I want to run X amount of miles, where you should change it to I want to be a runner. And so we get that identity change, and once we really adopt the identity that we want to accomplish, we'll be able to accomplish more, and we'll be able to really give into the goal and the habit to where we're going to say, oh, I am going to run today because I'm a runner, or I am going to read this book because I'm a reader, not because I have to read a book today. So I think that's something that we need to do, is create the identity and not create a goal. One of the things I've learned when I was in school and college is going deep, going a certain amount of levels deep. So going 7 layers deep to understand why we truly want to accomplish this goal. And so you get to the first level, you'll be able to see is, okay, this is a reason I want to. And then you ask, why do I want that? Go to the next level, and you repeat that until you get to the root cause of why you want to accomplish this goal. And I think that's going to help you have X amount of reasons on why to accomplish this goal, but also get to the root of it of why am I doing this? Is it superficial, or is this really about me and who I want to be? Another way to set a SMART goal is to have that SMART mentality. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable / attainable, is it relevant to my life, and time-based. So being specific, when you get specific with your goals, you know exactly what you need to do and what you need to do to accomplish it. To be measurable, if you're not able to measure it, you're not going to be able to progress towards it. So if it's a very open, broad goal and you can't measure like going towards it, it's going to be really hard to accomplish it because you don't know if you have accomplished it or not. To make it achievable or attainable, this is something really important to understand, because if we set something so far out there that we know is going to be really almost impossible to achieve, we're setting ourselves up for failure. But if we break down that goal and set the goal to something a little less, we'll be able to really achieve what we've set out to do. Relevant kind of goes along with it. Is it relevant to me right now? Is it something way out of left field that I want to do, or is it tie into my bigger life purpose? And I think that will also help you achieve the goal that you want. And then time-based, setting that time is like, I want to run a marathon by June, or I want to read this book by the end of the month. Having those time-based really creates an accountability to yourself, so you're able to accomplish anything that you want. So creating a map is something I think not enough people do. When they frame a goal, they think it's you go from A to Z. So you start where you are, and then all of a sudden you're at your goal. But what we really need to do is flip that. We go from Z to A. So we map out each goal step, and then once we have all the steps necessary, we'll go from A to B, and then B to C. So when I say go to Z first, you get the end goal, and then you say, what's the step right before that? And so we'll go to the Y goal, and then what's the step right before that? X. And you do that all the way until you get to A. Now all of a sudden you have this clear map on how to get to your end goal. And I think that's going to help you understand a clear path for you to accomplish your goal and get to the end. So to-do lists, I think this is something that a lot of people can become more efficient at. A lot of times we have to-do lists and they are beneficial. We can mark down what we're doing. But another thing that we need to create is a not to-do list. And I think this is going to help us stay focused and be relevant with what we need to accomplish. So I need to not go on social media. I need to not do this around the house right now. And separating those lists of what to do and then what not to do, you'll be able to become more efficient with your time and also be able to accomplish your daily activities that you need to do. Another method I like to use is the ABC method. So A stands for this absolutely needs to get done. So you categorize all the activities that you have throughout the day and you're going to separate it. So A, this absolutely needs to get done. B, it'd be beneficial if I got this done. And C, this can wait for me to get done. And then we start from the top. A, so I'm going to do everything I can to get this. I won't move on to the other tasks, even if they're easier and I know I can get it done. A is going to have the most impact, and this absolutely needs to get done today. B, the beneficial to get done. This is what's going to help you just progress a little more. It'd be nice to get it done today, but if I can't get it done today, that's okay. And then C, can wait. This is the lowest priority. Sometimes they're the easiest, but they're not going to help you move forward. They could just be very tedious. So I think this is another way that you can adopt to get things done within your day. Now, a vision board. So a vision board is something that you can create and then put on your desk next to your room, wherever you see something a lot, to help you envision the end goal. So a vision board, you print out a bunch of images, or you can set these images as your desktop, your wallpaper. So you have that repeated reminder of what the end goal is. And this is going to help you just envision what it's like to get to where you want to get. So it's always on your mind, always thinking of ways that you can accomplish this goal. And that repeated sight and of that vision board, you're going to be able to internalize that and make time to accomplish the things you need to get to the end goal that you see on your vision board every day. Getting an accountability partner is another great way to help you accomplish your goals. So with an accountability partner, you need someone close to you that you can meet with frequently and that they can really hold you accountable. Some people take it further to where it's like you give them a certain amount of money, and if you're not following up on your side, they get to keep the money. If that helps incentivize you, that could work. But I think having someone right there with you is going to help you enough to keep you going, keep you on track, and know that what you're doing is being progressive towards your goal. One of the things that helped me a lot when I was training to do a half marathon was creating routine. So I knew if I did step A, I was far more likely to do step B. So in this case for training, if I knew when I got up, I woke up and right away I put on my exercise clothes, I knew I'd be far more likely to actually go exercise than if I just waited to put on the clothes. And so that's something that you can do in your life, creating a habit to do one thing that will trigger a following event. And that's really crucial for you to create those triggers. And if they can be positive, you need to make sure they're positive triggers. Because if it's a negative trigger where it's like I keep my phone next to my bed, so when I wake up I instantly grab it, and that helped me recognize I need to take my phone away from my bed and put it in a different room. So in the morning I get up right away and I can change into those exercise clothes. Nothing's holding me back. So creating those positive triggers to where if I do step A, I'll follow with step B, which will lead to step C. Next is keeping a journal and your KPIs or key performance indicators. So writing out what you're doing and reflecting on your progress is going to help you see over a long period of time. You may not see it if you just journal from yesterday to today, but if you keep a journal and keep those KPIs over a long span, you're going to see the progress and you're going to see your graph go up in your performance and the progress that you've made on your goals and habits that you've established. Another way is setting yourself up for success, and so that's creating an environment to where you're able to be focused and just distraction free. So let's say at your desk, you don't put your phone there, you turn it on silent. If you do have it there, airplane mode, these things are creating an environment for you to be able to focus and get all the work you need to get done, do the repetitions that you need to do, and allow you to focus on the one thing at a time. You're not multitasking, you're not trying to do this and that, but you're solely focused on the one thing, so you're able to accomplish what you've set out to do. Another hack is to optimize your time. And what does that mean? So there's 5 things that we can do to help optimize our time. So it's eliminate, automate, replace, outsource, and delegate. So there's tasks that we can eliminate completely. They're time suckers. They're not going to allow us to move forward. They're not giving us really any benefit. Next would be automate. Is there a way that I can make this certain task in my day run on its own where I don't need to do it? This could be paying bills. This could be meal delivery services that you subscribe to so you don't have to go grocery shopping and make food. Next would be replace. Can I replace one activity with another so I'm able to just move forward with my goals? So one thing that I replaced would the amount of time I watch like TV with reading. I knew that's something I needed to replace so I could be just more efficient with my time and just get more out of my time so I can have a better return on investment of my time. And I think that's helped me a lot. Just learn more, just have a wider breadth of knowledge so I'm able to relate with more people because I'm reading about their interests and how I can apply my interest to this. Or there's a lot of learning that can go on by replacing one activity with others. Next would be outsourcing. There's certain activities that you don't need to waste your time on because your time is more valuable spent on something else. So a simple example would be like mowing your yard. You would have to outsource this to a landscape maintenance crew so they're able to mow that yard for X amount of dollars because you know that your hour doing the key activities you need to is worth more than the amount that you're paying someone else to fulfill that activity. And lastly is delegate. Can you hand this task off to someone else? Using these tasks is going to help you use your time more efficiently and have a bigger return on your investment or return on your time throughout your day. Another thing I like to look at is life is like a garden bed. So you have your sun and water, which is like your input, your time, those resources you need to help your plants grow. Your harvest, your flowers, your food, your garden are the results. And then the weeds are the distractions and also the things that suck the resources from your harvest. So once you eliminate the weeds and you essentially save up all those resources that allows it to nurture and nourish your harvest, your garden, your flowers, and because of those the sun and water, your resources that you're putting in can go directly to that and not the weeds that are in your life. Something I heard that I thought was really impactful was this concept of mind storming. So you take your goal that you want to accomplish, and let's say your goal is I want to earn $60,000 in a year. And at the beginning of each day, instead of saying I'm going to earn $60,000, you turn it into an open-ended question where it says, how am I going to earn $60,000? And then you answer that in like 10 to 20 ways, and then you do that each day, and you'll be able to see clear paths and that there are more than one way to accomplish that goal. And I think this is a great mindset shift to where you're able to do that. So now another one to look at is your time and money relationship. So what does that mean? So the time that I'm giving is actually worth more than what I think it is. And a good example is Netflix. So you may think Netflix only costs me $10 a month, but really it's costing you a lot more. Because let's say you spend an hour, 2 hours a day, every day watching Netflix. So now within this week, you have 14 hours of time spent on Netflix. And if you calculate it to where I'm paying myself, I think my time is worth $20 an hour, all of a sudden you're spending hundreds of dollars on this service. So understanding how much your time is worth and where you're spending that time will help you recognize where you can adjust things and really understand where your time can be best spent. Next is making your goals fun. If you can find fun ways to accomplish your goals and work on your goals, you're far more likely to complete them. You're far more likely to work harder on them, and you'll be able to work longer on them. So when they're fun, you'll be able to accomplish this and go the extra mile because you're enjoying yourself. This isn't like a painful experience, but an enjoyable life that you're creating. This one I think is kind of funny, but seeing the stats behind it makes it eye-opening, and it's manifesting. So manifest the goals that you want, and I think not enough people do this, and not enough people take this seriously. So if you say something out loud of something positively that you want to do, you're 10 times more likely to accomplish that thing than if you had to say nothing at all. But if we were to say it in a negative way, say something negative, we're 4 to 7 times more likely to accomplish the negative than the positive. And so that's 40 to 70 times more likely if we had to do it in a negative way than if we had to say nothing at all. So to manifest, make sure it's a positive way that I can do this, I will do this, and I will accomplish this. You'll be 10 times more likely to accomplish that goal because you are verbally saying it, you're hearing yourself saying, and you're supporting yourself in that way. Something I read in a book, they talk about a pre-mortem. So post-mortem, you hear when someone dies, they do a post-mortem autopsy and they kind of discover the reason why they died. But if we did a pre-mortem and we ask the question, what are all the things that could possibly go wrong when I embark on this project or when I embark on this goal, we'll be able to identify those weak points and just where we're not going to succeed. And now we'll have this list of potential failures, and we could counter those, and we'll know exactly what we need to do to prevent those from happening. So assessing a pre-mortem is going to allow you to accomplish your goals because you'll be able to avoid all the things that will help make you fail. And lastly, something I learned while playing tennis growing up is that a coach told me to remember the good reps. And so oftentimes in tennis or in any sport really, you hit a bad stroke, you're always immediately practicing another rep right after that. And something that he said was like, remember the good reps, because right now you're focusing only on the bad reps. So when you're working on your goals, remember the good times, the good days, the good reps that you've had, so that you'll be able to focus on that and not the bad one that just happened. Because you're more likely to have far more good reps than bad reps. But what we choose to focus on is going to allow us to accomplish those goals. So lastly, remember to apply some of these. You don't need to try to apply all of them, but using these tips are going to help you accomplish the goals that you've set out to do and create the life that you want. Now, as always, like and subscribe.